Let's say you want to test a new operating system, maybe Windows 11, maybe another Linux distro, or even something experimental. But you don't want to risk your current Linux Mint setup. That's where virtualization comes in. VirtualBox basically lets you run another operating system inside your current one, using something called a virtual machine. It creates a complete isolated environment with its own virtual CPU, RAM, storage, and even network. So whatever happens inside it, stays inside it. Now let's set it up properly on Linux Mint 22.3. Start by opening your browser and search for Oracle VirtualBox. Always use the official Oracle website because third-party downloads can be outdated or unsafe. Once the website loads, go to the Downloads section. You'll see different platform packages. Since Linux Mint is based on Ubuntu, choose the Ubuntu or Debian package. That file is a .deb package, which means it integrates directly with your system's package manager. Now, one important thing here, scroll down and also download the extension pack. This is not optional if you want full functionality. The extension pack adds USB 2.0 and 3.0 support, better graphics handling, and features like clipboard sharing and remote display. Make sure the version of the extension pack exactly matches the VirtualBox version. Otherwise, it won't install. Now, once both files are downloaded, open your Downloads folder. Double-click the virtualbox.deb file. This will open the software installer. Behind the scenes, it uses the app system to install dependencies and register kernel modules. Click Install, enter your password, and let it complete. During installation, VirtualBox also sets up kernel drivers, which allow it to communicate directly with your hardware. If your system kernel updates later, these modules may rebuild automatically. Now open VirtualBox from your application menu. Before creating a virtual machine, install the extension pack. Go to File, then Preferences, then Extensions. Click the plus icon, select the extension pack file, and accept the license. This step ensures your virtual machines can access USB devices and run more smoothly. Now let's create a virtual machine. Click on New, give it a meaningful name. As you type, VirtualBox tries to detect the operating system type, like Linux, Windows, or others, and adjusts default settings accordingly. Next, select your ISO file. This ISO is basically a bootable image of the operating system. Think of it like a virtual DVD. Now comes resource allocation. First is RAM. This is critical. If you assign too little, the guest OS will lag. If you assign too much, your host system will slow down. A good rule is to never allocate more than half your total RAM. Next is CPU cores. VirtualBox allows you to assign virtual CPUs. Again, balance is key. For most systems, 2 cores work fine. If you have a powerful processor, you can go higher. Now storage. VirtualBox creates a virtual hard drive file, usually in VDI format. This file acts like a real hard drive for the virtual machine. You can choose dynamically allocated, which grows as needed, or fixed size, which is faster but takes full space immediately. For most users, dynamic is perfectly fine. Set the size based on your OS. 20 gigabytes is okay for lightweight Linux, but for Windows, go at least 40 gigabytes. Finish the setup, and your virtual machine is ready. Now click Start. At this moment, VirtualBox boots from the ISO file, just like a real computer boots from a USB or DVD. You'll see the installation screen of your chosen OS. From here, everything is standard. Partitioning, user setup, installation, all happens inside the virtual environment. Once installation completes, the system will reboot, and now you're running a fully functional operating system inside a window. Now, here's an important optimization step. Go to the top menu, click Devices, and select Insert Guest Edition CD image. Inside the virtual machine, open that disk and run the installer. What this does is install special drivers inside the guest OS. These drivers improve display resolution, enable seamless mouse movement, better graphics acceleration, and shared clipboard between host and guest. Without guest editions, the experience feels limited. With it, everything becomes much smoother and integrated. One more technical detail worth understanding. VirtualBox uses something called hardware virtualization, like Intel VTX or AMD V. Most modern CPUs support this, but it must be enabled in your BIOS or UEFI settings. If it's disabled, virtual machines will either run very slowly or not start at all. So, if you ever face performance issues, that's one place to check. And that's it. You now have a complete virtual environment running inside Linux Mint, where you can safely test, experiment, or even run multiple operating systems side by side. No risk to your main system, no dual boot complications, just clean isolation and flexibility. And once you get used to it, VirtualBox becomes one of the most powerful tools in your setup. I'll see you in the next one.